another thing that's wholesome and consensual. Don't know if that's a word, but never mind.
I thought you said consensual then. I was like, oh.
Consensual.
We definitely don't want to be inconsensual. Stay away from that boat.
We're going there. It's already going off the rails already. What are we now? Like 5 seconds into this new episode. So the big news for me this week is that I'm actually going back to work on Monday after approximately 6 months of furlough.
I don't know whether I should clap or not. Should I? I mean,
Well,
how do you feel about that?
Will it clip the levels? You know, is that the danger here? I'm delighted, but yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Small clap.
It's like the world's smallest violin clap, isn't it?
The world's smallest violin.
I've been off furlough since June, so yeah, that would probably explain a bit of a slowdown with my YouTube videos, despite the fact that I try at least a week to put stuff out, and it's more of like when you get that call, you're like, oh,
yeah.
Got to change everything.
Groundskeeper Willie, back to the luck with you. Whereas I have been on furlough since mid-April this year, sitting at home doing pretty much sod all. But now I'm very happy to say that I'll be back working for my company from Monday onwards.
Nice.
So at least there is some good news from Monday onwards, as opposed to the obvious main news from Monday onwards about the groups of 6.
Yeah.
I mean, my furlough experience had its ups and downs, really. You know, I started this podcast for one, which is obviously
that's obviously a down, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, you know, obviously one of the worst decisions I've ever made, but that's neither here nor there. I've got on with a lot more music since I've been my own music. Been making a lot more music since we've gone into lockdown. I've been immersed in the wide world of Twitch, discovering several great communities, including this one, including Mosh Talks, Gemma Edwards, Matt Heafy's Twitter. We'll get on to Trivium later, but
okay, yeah.
Sorry, it's Matt Heafy, isn't it? Not Heafy. That's always one of those confusing names.
I've always said Matt Heafy, to be honest.
It's Heafy, apparently.
Is it? Oh,
yeah,
news to me.
And actually lost a fair bit of weight as well since lockdown started.
I'm the complete opposite.
Nearly 2 stone. So I was quite pleased with myself. But yeah, I'm not really going to miss not working, really. I think I had my fill by the 3rd month or so, you know.
You gotta have something to do, haven't you? Like when I was on furlough, because there was the mix of the peak of COVID. I essentially was reviving my YouTube somewhat, but definitely had a lot more time to kind of think about it a bit more. And I was planning to revive it before that, so I had all the time. But as soon as I came back to work, I understood. Look, I am gonna be back 9 till 5, so it is going to be a bit of a nuisance.
What a way to make a living!
A nuisance that gets me paid and utilizes my day skill. But it's also, it's an opportunity for me to structure my time a bit better as well. So I think there's the positives you got to take out of it as well.
Well, key word there, structure. That's what I was gagging for ages during this thing.
Yeah,
I felt life felt. I mean, the whole thing about this pandemic is it's so unstructured, no one knows what's going on. But I need plans in place and set in motion.
I know that just by your handwritten things of downloaders. Like, is this band going to clash and this band going to clash?
I must explain, Watcher, that before every download, I basically try and come up with a near bulletproof itinerary of our plans for that week.
And I'm more of a
did you bring this? I need to bring this, and that. I need to do this, and that. Need to bring a proper chair this time. Need to bring this X amount of rubbish bins.
Yeah, I'm just the kind of person who plays it by ear. But I've learnt the hard way when it comes to going to download from the first year that there are certain essentials that you definitely need to bring. Like wellies are an entire must. I don't think there is anything more important, except for a tent, of course. But who's going to forget a tent when they're camping?
We'll probably get into that. I think that'll be a very informative podcast if we get into the logistics of download and the obstacles one might face.
We could even have like a whole podcast on it if
that could be good.
If it's if it does fit like an hour discussion or more.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Anyway, Scurvy has been saying that they've been at home since COVID started being a real threat.
Yeah.
With working from home as well. Well, I mean, I'm working from home initially, and then what they're going to do is they're going to gradually bring people back into our office in London. But supposedly we're going to have temperature checks every day for everyone that comes in.
They've already had that.
I think it's a wise decision, really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was in Uxbridge last night, meeting up with our good friend Dan, who I work with.
That's the thing I miss, see, because like I in terms of like most of my friends are in England and London around you guys, so it does get a bit lonely for me. Not gonna lie, but I'll have to find a time to come up and do like an office based podcast or something like that. Who knows?
Sure. We've got MS Winfield in the chat, who says, I ditched wellies for proper walking shoes a couple of years ago for download. Much better. Hi, Michael. Nice to see you. I mean, for me, wellies all the way. Like, I remember at one point at download, I had to actually tape my wellies to my jean leg with like black gaffer tape, just so that water wouldn't seep in.
Yeah.
Because, my wellies were kind of quite open at the top and they were getting soaked. My feet were getting soaked. So I ended up wrapping around my welly with black gaffer tape, which ended up causing a massive rash on my leg. So not a great idea, really. But
you know how much I complained last year because I borrowed my stepdad's steel toe boot wellies. Not the best thing to be walking around in. My heels were absolutely killing me at the end of it. Like amount I was actually considering skipping tool because I was in so much pain. But at the end I was just like, look, just wait it out. Everything. And the worst thing was everywhere was so damp so you couldn't bloody sit down that easily. So
it was such a mission to sit down anywhere at download last year. It really was. But yeah, my steel toe cap experience at festival was that last time I saw Slayer ever at Sonosphere.
Yeah,
I accidentally kicked the back heel of a guy who's wearing steel toe boots, and my toenail was black for about several months afterwards.
I'm going to start calling you Aragorn.
Not a very pleasant thing,
I'm going to start calling you Aragorn now. You know that
Aragorn Blackfoot.
Yes. You know that scene in Two Towers when he kicks the helmet, but he actually broke his toe.
Well, the thing with Peter Jackson was he was a bit of a perfectionist in that scene. So he was like, the first two takes were like really good, and you can actually see the whole thing on YouTube, all the takes that he was doing and the whole story behind it. And it's a scene where Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli find the charred remains of the orc encampment where Merry and Pippin were captured.
Yeah.
And Aragorn kicks the helmet in frustration. And on the third take, Viggo Mortensen broke his toe. And they left that take in the movie.
Yeah. Duke Aragorn Blackfoot, wielder of tape.
Love
your castle.
Love it, Scurvy.
Your moat and everything. All right.
But yeah, basically, I can't wait to get back to work, and I hope I haven't forgotten everything, essentially. But yeah, my furlough experience was up and down. I was, I stopped drinking for a bit, then I resumed drinking a lot. I got to meet up with my mates a fair bit, but it's just, what can you do, really? Just try and amuse yourself.
I mean, like, I know people who drink...
But this podcast came out of it, so...
Yeah, I know people who do drink on the job when they're working from home, but I'm just not one of those people. I need coffee rather than alcohol to work. So that's me.
Yeah, I like I said, I was in Uxbridge last night. I met up with Dan and Joe from our download group. It was his birthday.
Yeah.
And we basically just all sat in this field
Oh,
Like,
good.
kind of like it was our last night of freedom before the 6-person rule went into effect.
Yeah,
And
because
Uxbridge is a long, long way from the centre of London.
I know, because Katie goes
Like,
to uni in Cambridge, and that's like 4 hours from here. It's a nightmare.
it's a lot. It's a really deceptively long way. It's better to drive there rather than get tube. But I had to get the night bus back basically, and I got in at about 5 o'clock this morning.
Yeah.
So if I seem a little bit groggy, by the way, and a bit hungover, that's why.
Oh, imagine it! Imagine if Fulham did beat Arsenal earlier.
Oh
You'd be
God,
even worse.
I'd be even worse to say. We'll get on that in a minute, but that's my interesting news anyway. So